What's going on, family? You back in the lab with AB Joshua, man. We got a great one today. Matter of fact, we got a lineup today. This one lady that about to show here, she said, tell your sons getting sex come with responsibility. But and I understand what she was saying because she broke it down a little bit. She was saying, never let your son move in with a female. And I'm gonna tell you my story and I'm gonna give you my commentary, but we're gonna let her tell her story first. So she come out strongly with some language, so just be aware. But she had some very valid points, man. She was cooking, so let's get into it.
Teach our sons with getting pussy comes great responsibility. Teach them that instead of being 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and going and moving in with a female, get your own space. Know what it feels like to have your name on the lease and you pay the bills there and walk through there and drop your nuts where a bitch can't never kick you out. No, y'all teach y'all sons to keep running back from your house to their house. Either way, he living with a bitch in charge. And then you can't understand why he can't lead. You acting crazy. His baby mama bitching about him. You his mama, you bitching about him. You ain't taught him shit. She ain't teaching him nothing either. She want him to be something to her that he is not. Something you didn't teach him to be. Your ass, as the mama, half the time, y'all be broken because you could never get a good man because you never went and worked on your emotions. The shit be a cycle. And you got the nerve to actually get on them. It definitely be generational curses. But once you able to type shit like it's generational curses, then you now have a responsibility to break the cycle.
Facts. I agree with what she's saying. A lot of young men do leave their mothers and go post up with their girl, their woman, whatever, in her spot. They done got convinced that you can help pay these bills over here and we can save some money and we can do this and do that. A lot of young men never seen a man lead a household, so they don't know how to run a household or lead the family or lead a household. So they walking into a disaster zone. Let me tell you, I tell my kids, especially my son, never, ever move in with a female. Never. Always, either y'all can get some stuff together. I prefer y'all married or at least engaged to be married. When y'all getting some stuff together, you know what I mean? Maybe an apartment, but make sure both of y'all names on that lease. If you purchase in a house, that has to be your wife. Or I tell my daughters, if you purchase in a house with a man, that has to be your husband. There is no way you purchasing something of that magnitude, a house with a fiance or boyfriend. It's too dangerous. Anything can happen in those stages. You know what I mean? Y'all can go y'all separate ways. Now, your name is on the mortgage and they're gone, or his name and you're gone, and you can't qualify for this house by yourself. He can't qualify this house by himself. So now what? Now y'all got to sell it. Now y'all got to negotiate the payout. It can be, or a person might not care about their credit and they just walk away and screw you over knowing you can't afford it. So they don't care because they ain't never been taught to manage money or manage their credit. And then they screw you over. So I always tell my kids never to get involved with somebody or move in with somebody unless it's their husband or wife, you know what I mean? But if that's your fiance and y'all getting ready to get married, that's fine. You know what I mean? I understand that part of it. Y'all got to date him, and things can happen there too. But it's only an apartment. It's not a mortgage. Your lease can be up and y'all go out separate ways. But also, I teach my kids, and especially my son, but I teach both of them. You know what I mean? Let me be honest with you. Never, because me and my wife, we never purchased something that the other one can't afford. Like my wife want to go out and buy a brand new car. We're not gonna purchase that car unless I can pay for it without her. Even though she's gonna pay for it because it's her car. But if something happened to her job or something happened to her, and she can't work no more, or what for whatever reason she's not here no more, we ain't got to lose the car because my income can pay for it. And same with our house. We never purchase something that the other person can't pay for within their own means. So I tell my kids that don't go out and you have to be on the same financial page of a person when you thinking like that. You know what I mean? So, if you know your spouse can't afford that brand new Camaro, but you can, but you go out there and buy that Camaro and you lose your job, and they can't afford to have that Camaro finna get repo or finna go back. So, you're in a grave mistake. You're making a mistake by doing that financially. You can hurt both of y'all futures. Now, I'm gonna tell you my story, you know what I mean? And the reason I tell my kids not to move in with nobody, because I did that. I moved in with this female when I was young-minded. And I tried to always be about my business, but I did move in. She convinced me to move in. I'm thinking, okay, cool. We finna, do this thing, I'm laying up next to my gal. Yeah, I'm country gal. No, and it was her spot. You know what I mean? I moved in with her. She convinced me. And the minute we had an argument or I did something she didn't like, she told me I can get the F out because that was her house. And I'm looking at it like, okay, cool. You telling me I can roll? Yeah, because this is my house and blah 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 blah. And you know how y'all women can get sometimes when y'all get animated, the hands and the head going and this. I was like, bet. So at that time I was like, okay, she'll cool off. Then she'll cool off and be like, I mean that and blah 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 blah. So a few months later, she did the same thing. Told me I can get out. That's her house. And she had just, she was probably about 3 months from ending the lease or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I was paying the rent. You know what I mean? I believe the man should always pay the rent or the mortgage. The man, that's the roof over your family head or your girl head or whatever belong to the man. That's just my belief. You know what I mean? So that second time she told me that, I wasn't giving her a chance to come back and be like, oh, I was just playing or not playing. Or I didn't mean what I said. Hell no, you told me to get out your house and that's what I did. I left. And the relationship was over at that point because I feel you ain't gonna treat me like that. You ain't gonna get mad. Every time you get mad, you're gonna throw it who place it is. Nope. Hell no. I'm out of here. So eventually she ended up, I think 2 months after I left, she got evicted. Now remind you the rent, she only had 3 more months on her lease, but I was paying. I was convinced. She convinced me to move in to pay because she couldn't afford it in the first place. Coming to find out, so after I left, she couldn't afford the place and she got evicted. Messed her credit all up. Sometimes you just avoid some situations. So this lady right here is cooking. She was absolutely 100% correct. Tell your sons and daughters not to move in with nobody, but especially your sons. And your sons can't lead a household if you never seen a man lead a household. I don't care if it's uncle, I don't care if it's big brother. It don't have to be dad all the time because sometimes dad can be incarcerated, dad can be just out of the picture, or dad can be deceased. So he might not get a chance to see a father run a household, but hopefully he see an uncle or a big cousin or somebody who running their household with leadership and love, and that son know how to operate in that spectrum. So yes, she's 100% correct. She was cooking. Let's watch this video one more time, man, and then
teach y'all sons with getting pussy comes great responsibility. Teach them that instead of being 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and going and moving in with a female, get your own space. Know what it feels like to have your name on the lease and you pay the bills there and walk through there and drop your nuts where a bitch can't never kick you out. No, y'all teach y'all sons to keep running back from your house to their house. Either way, he living with a bitch in charge. And then you can't understand why he can't lead. You acting crazy. His baby mama bitching about him. You, his mama, you bitching about him. You ain't taught him shit. She ain't teaching him nothing either. She want him to be something to her that he is not. Something you didn't teach him to be. Your ass, as the mama, half the time, y'all be broken because you could never get a good man because you never went and worked on your emotions. The shit be a cycle. And you got the nerve to actually get on them. It definitely be generational curses. But once you able to type shit like it's generational curses, then you now have a responsibility to break the cycle.
My sister was cooking, man. She was cooking, and that's 100. That's 100. Young man, don't move in with nobody. Learn. If you ain't got nobody, go find a mentor. Learn how to lead your home with honor and respect and dignity. With that said, I'm Yashrael. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, shalom.